I've been seeing the idea that you shouldn't hate watch the Rings of Power proliferating both before and obviously now after the initial 2-episode release of Amazon's so far underwhelming and underperforming TV series, and I, for one, disagree. In fact, not only do I disagree, I think it's a really bad idea. Worse yet, I think it is an active detriment to our, if you will excuse the lofty verbiage, cause. We have power, we have influence, and most importantly of all, we have an easy target. The Rings of Power is not a strong entity, it's not a well-established franchise. It didn't come out to love and bluster out the gate, it was wobbly at the best of times, and the release has not strengthened it. For us then to stand by and refuse to use the power we do have, the influence we do have, it's not merely a recipe for defeat, it is the definition of the term. See, apathy is watching your enemy teetering on the brink of the abyss and not reaching out a helping hand. Hatred is pushing the motherfucker over. And I, for one, think that is a far better option. Now, of course, I will elaborate. Now, let's begin here with some hard-to-swallow pills, shall we? First and foremost, you and I and the fan audience who gives a shit about The Lord of the Rings and Tolkien, we are a vanishingly small percentage of Amazon's target audience. Hell, we are a vanishingly small percentage of their already installed user base. They have something like 150 million Amazon Prime customers in America alone. Half of the US is already in their grasp. Us not watching it is less than a drop in the bucket. This is not a competition for whether you or I, the fans, don't watch. It is making the non-aligned people, the wider majority, the masses, not watch. This is literally a competition between us and Amazon for the PR victory to set the narrative. And furthermore, this is the important part, the narrative, the story, and the reputation of Amazon. Because here's the thing, if we manage to make sure that Lord of the Rings of Power, did not get a single view, not one, through the entire existence of its runtime, if we manage to make Amazon Studios shut their doors tomorrow with the complete, absolute loss of all assets, Amazon would shrug and move on as if nothing had happened. The Rings of Power, the most expensive television show in human history, $5 billion, is less than a week's revenue for Amazon, who last year earned a 420 plus B for billion dollars. The old saying, hit them where it hurts in the pocketbook, simply does not apply to companies like Amazon. They are too big, too diversified, and have too much income for us to have any hope of affecting them in this way. Now, don't get me wrong, boycotts can work against the correct target and in the correct way. For example, the recent events of Games Workshop and Warhammer 40k. GW are trying to be bought up by a much larger company, the Hasbros or the Disneys of the world, the big fish. And to do so, it is attempting to show that it can monetize its IP, that it is more than merely a model manufacturing company. It can have animations, games, TV shows, all kinds of stuff with Warhammer Plus. In that precarious position, us, the actual fans, who are still the core of the user base, simply refusing to engage with Warhammer Plus is a mighty blow. But for Amazon, Amazon Studios is a goddamn side project. It is a subset of Amazon. And again, this is the important part. For whilst the old saying, hide them where it hurts in the pocketbook, no longer applies, well, there are good versions of that too. For example, the old saying, there is no such thing as bad PR, also no longer applies. In fact, in today's environment, a reputation is worth a lot more than money. Money is finite, it's whatever you got there in the bank at the moment. Reputation, that is a license to print money, particularly in big business like Amazon. A reputation is investors, it is support, it it is grants, it is a million pocketbooks all across the world belonging to millionaires and billionaires fling themselves open to sponsor your next project because you have shown the ability to do so. And Rings of Power, that is their attempt to show that they can. If Rings of Power succeeds, Amazon Studios is set for life, or at the very least the next half century. But if it fails, not only will that probably shatter the studio, it will do irreparable damage to Amazon itself. It is the reputation that is the important focal point here, because here's the thing. All of this talk about how massive Amazon is, how powerful it is, how rich it is, this is not meant to demoralize you, it is not meant to demotivate you, it is not to say that this is a battle we cannot win because we can. I am simply saying if you are hunting an elephant, bring a gun, not a blindfold. And in this case, the gun is the reputation. Now, the Rings of Power is already under attack from all sides. It's already received, at best, wishy-washy praise, even from the bought and paid for mainstream press. It is already teetering on the brink. All we need do is reach out a hand and push. And we cannot do so by ignoring it, because again, we are simply too small of a percentage. The way we attack Amazon is through this. Is through the rating score, is through the reviews, it is through Rotten Tomatoes, it is through IMDb, it is through Amazon Prime's own review system, because this is how we speak to the wider audience. As I've said previously, and everyone has mentioned but seems to have failed to grasp themselves, Amazon is not making this show for the fans of The Lord of the Rings, they are making it for the wider audience, for the 150 casual users already installed to Amazon Prime. And so they are the ones we need to convince as well. And the best way to do that is through leaving a negative review. I've already done my part, and I have left an informed review as well. I know what the problems with the show are, and that is what you need to know as well. Now, if you don't want to support Amazon, there are ample ways not to do so, but you should know what you are talking about when you review it, because if not, well, you are giving our opposition ammunition. Make no mistake, what I am suggesting now, that we hit them via the reviews, our opposites are already doing the opposite of that because they know this game far better than us. Yet we understand the theory, yet we refuse to play. Because here's the thing. You leave a negative troll review saying something that is blatantly false. Every one of those people can now point to your review and go, hey look, he didn't even watch it. He's just a troll. He is literally just a sheep hating on the thing because people tell him to hate it, and they will be right. It's not like this is a good show. You will have ample ammunition. Hell, you don't even need to watch more than one episode, acquired through whatever alternative means you feel fit your purpose the best. But again, there are even traps. The Black Dwarven Princess, Disa, for example, the dwarves are the only good part about the show so far. So if you claim that that is the negative, well, again, you'll have wandered into the trap, won't you? This is our opportunity. This is our chance. And here's the thing, our numbers, we may be nothing compared to Amazon's 150 million installed users, but look here, it is only 23,000 reviews. Your voice, as tiny and incremental though it might be, even in this scale, is infinitely louder in 23,000 reviews than 150 million users. You choosing not to watch is not having any effect. You finding some way to make an informed review, for whatever means you find necessary again, and then leaving a negative review speaks far, far louder. The Rings of Power is weak. I see no reason to grant Amazon mercy or the clemency of our ignorance in this. Why should our enemy, who has given us his head on a silver platter, be told to take it back now? Now, of course, I'm sure there are going to be some disagreements about this, and hey, please do make your counter-argument in the comments down below. Maybe if there's some particularly good ones, we'll address them too, because it could be interesting, but I'm pretty sure I'm right on this one. So again, please do leave me your counter comments and we'll see. Until next time, I am Arch. Thank you very much for watching, and if you're gonna do gatekeeping, which I strongly recommend you do, you gotta pick the gate. And Amazon has allowed us to decide the fate of the gates of Amazon Studios today. So why not take it? Have a good day.